48 hours before Barcelona arrive at Vallecas, the conversation around this fixture has shifted from formations and player fitness to something more elemental: soil. Rayo Vallecano Stadium, usually a cauldron of local noise and neighbourhood passion, is now the centre of a turf controversy after images and footage showed uneven, waterlogged grass and pocked areas that look closer to a bog than a top-tier football pitch. And Rayo's own forward, Issy Palazon, cut to the chase when he said it feels like a swamp. A blunt verdict that has reverberated through both dressing rooms and social feeds. The detail matters. This is not a cosmetic problem for Sunday's spectacle, it's a tactical and medical one. Barcelona's game is built on quick, precise ground passes and a rhythm that collapses when the ball stutters or the surface refuses to cooperate. A slow, soft pitch turns slick, threaded passes into hopeful punts. It makes sprints treacherous and sliding challenges more likely to end with a twisted ankle than applause. Rayo's explanation is unglamorous but compelling. A packed schedule, a European midweek tie, and crucially, the team having to train in the stadium itself because the training ground pitch was affected by problems, which meant the stadium was used far more than intended, accelerating where and creating the patchwork we're seeing now. When you only use the stadium for games and suddenly you're using it 7 days a week, it ends up getting a bit run down, Palazon acknowledged, and that mission reframed the story from blame to consequence. For Rayo, the reality is bittersweet. The club has earned European nights, which is historic and joyous, but the reward has stressed the very fabric of the pitch that hosts the celebrations. Images circulating online, close-ups of muddy divots, scorched strips near the sidelines, and areas that seem to hold water like small ponds have only amplified the alarm. Analysts and fans debate whether the field should have been closed for repairs, whether rapid fixes can be effective, and whether match officials or league authorities should step in. Ground staff have limited tools with a 48-hour countdown. Short-term measures like sanding, temporary drainage work, or rolling can improve surface evenness, but cannot magically reinvent root depth or grass health overnight. The logistical truth is stark. You can clean and flatten, but you cannot regrow resilience in hours. For Barcelona, the calculus is different but urgent. The club will not want to risk intensive bursts from its most valuable legs, the players whose movement and touch define chances, only to see those attributes negated by a field that bounces and grips unpredictably. Coaches must weigh selection. Do you pick robust bodies who can cope with rough ground, or the technical specialists whose brilliance depends on immaculate turf? The answer carries consequences beyond a single result. A badly timed muscle tear or ligament injury could ripple through a season and change transfer plans, rotation choices, even title ambitions. That's why, amid the banter and outrage, there's real worry about prevention as much as protest. The human element sits in the middle of all this. Players who want to put on a show for fans, yet fear that every sliding tackle could become a hospital visit, groundskeepers whose pride in the stadium is bruised, and supporters who pay to see football, not a slog. Rayo players have spoken plainly. Football is a spectacle and they want it to be one, but they too share the same unease about injuries and the quality of play when the pitch is compromised. That shared concern undercuts any simple narrative of a home advantage and reframes the debate as a shared logistical nightmare for both clubs. If there's a short-term fix, it's a race. Roll, sand, tighten drainage where possible, and hope the surface holds for 90 minutes of competitive sport. But the more honest assessment is this: a pitch already compared to a swamp puts a premium on adaptability. Managers will adapt their plans, players will be cautioned to protect their limbs, and the ball will belong as much to luck as to skill. The match that should have been a technical showcase now carries the smell of compromise. Tactical plans redrawn, fans gritting teeth, and pundits predicting scrappier football. So what will we see when the whistle blows? Will Vallecas produce the kind of theatre that made Rayo's European nights so memorable, or we watch a gritty, stop-start contest shaped by mud and misfortune? What is certain is this: a single patch of compromised grass has become an influential actor in a high-profile fixture. The risk is not just about who wins 3 points. It's about protecting bodies and preserving the aesthetics of the game. With less than 2 days to go, the story is less about who starts and more about whether the pitch lets them play the football they want to play.